So what happens when a girl from a Newcastle council estate becomes Britain's national sweetheart, gets accused of racially aggravated assault before her 21st birthday, marries England's most famous footballer at the time, reinvents herself as a solo chart phenomenon and beauty icon, and then completely fades from the public eye? This is Cheryl's story, from Popstars' The Rivals to Girls Aloud's 20-hit run, a tabloid-scorched marriage to Ashley Cole, a record-setting solo career, a terrifying bout of malaria, a failed attempt to crack America, and a slow fade from the spotlight. We're going to track the rise, the near collapse, and the reinventions, and we're going to include all of the blind items and unreported gossip because that's what makes things juicy. Stay with me, we're doing Cheryl Cole, the deep dive. Cheryl Ann Tweedy was born on the 30th of June 1983. She was raised in council estates in Newcastle upon Tyne, and she is the youngest daughter of Joan Callaghan and Gary Tweedy. Her parents separated when she was 11 years old. She has 3 older siblings and 1 younger sibling. In her memoir, Cheryl, My Story, she describes a tough local environment growing up in the 1990s, with drugs flooding the estates that she lived on and losing friends to drugs. She said that at the time, heroin was there for the taking, but she consciously chose not to go down that route. It was alleged that both her elder brother Andrew and her sister Gillian struggled after discovering that Gary was not their biological father. Andrew in particular has led quite a troubled life. In 1996, he was sent to a young offenders institution for 6 years after stabbing 2 students, according to The Sun. In 2005, he was given another 4-year sentence for a mugging that he committed. He said that Cheryl gave him £20,000 to pay for his attendance at a rehabilitation clinic, but whatever he may have learned at that clinic did not stick. In 2011, he was sent to prison for 6 years for conducting an armed robbery of a post office. The Sun caught up with him in 2021, and at that time, he was an alcoholic living in a tent on the streets. This goes to show just how tough Cheryl's upbringing was, and it also shows how things could have turned out for her. But luckily for Cheryl, she had gifts and dreams and determination. She started dancing at a young age, about 7 years old, and participated in local competitions and attended a Royal Ballet summer school course when she was 9 years old. That's quite a lot of work for somebody who doesn't have connections in show business and doesn't come from a wealthy family. In 2002, when Cheryl was just 19 years old, she auditioned for the TV talent show Popstars' The Rivals. She sang Have You Ever by S Club 7, and the judges were blown away primarily by her appearance.
Have you ever loved and lost somebody? Wish there was a chance to say I'm sorry. Can't you see? That's the way I feel about you and me.
I want to put it through.
You look exotic.
Have the most beautiful eyes and skin I think I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely
stunning.
In November 2002, the British public chose Cheryl, Nadine Coyle, Kimberly Walsh, Nicola Roberts and Sarah Harding to form a girl group that they called Girls Aloud. As part of their prize, they got to put out a single which was in contention for Christmas #1. Luckily, they picked a Xenomania-produced banger, Sounds of the Underground, and the song won the Christmas chart battle, and the girls were on their way. So they were obviously off to a great start. However, the next year in 2003, Cheryl, a toilet attendant in a nightclub in Guildford. Cheryl was out with her bandmate and now best pal, Nicola Roberts. The row began when Cheryl took sweets and lollipops from a display in the ladies' lavatory in the club without leaving the customary tip. When Sophie, the toilet attendant, objected to this, she said that Cheryl absolutely lost it and charged at her, screaming. Nicola was apparently trying to restrain Cheryl at the time, but then eventually left to get security. Cheryl then Sophie in the face so hard that her left eye actually closed up. Cheryl was convicted of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, but was acquitted of racially aggravated assault. Cheryl has always denied that she referenced Sophie's race. Some have said that it's impossible for Cheryl to be racist against black people because she has dated black men. There was a rumor in 2010 that went around that said that she and another member of the band actually used to demand light-skinned black men as part of their riders. If you look back, many of the male dancers for Girls Aloud fit that description back in the day. Another blind item from 2010 said that Cheryl said to a studio engineer, "I don't know why they're calling me racist. I've loads of black blokes." But black women know that white women who date and sleep with black men can still be very hostile and racist towards black women. I know it does sound strange, and perhaps I should do a video about that because there are many examples of it in popular culture. Ultimately, as strange as it sounds, it is true. It can happen. But ultimately, we weren't there, so we don't know what Cheryl said. And she was acquitted of that part of the criminal charge. There was a rumor at the time that the management of Girls Aloud was seriously thinking of dropping Cheryl from the band because of this incident. However, they hired a good PR team and rode it out and decided to stick with her, and her rise to fame continued. Cheryl gained a lot of additional attention because of her relationship with footballer Ashley Cole. Their relationship started in September 2004, around that time, when they were both living in the same London apartment complex. Cheryl is believed to have said that their first date was basically just them drinking wine indoors because they didn't want to create a commotion by going out. They got engaged really quickly. The next year, on holiday in Dubai in June 2005, Ashley got down on one knee and conducted a classic desert proposal, which later featured across various glossy magazines. She actually told OK magazine, "My mum and dad split up, so I never thought I would, but when Ash asked me, everything changed." There are rumours that Ashley Cole is, and this is where things get controversial and spicy. If you want to see and listen to the full deep dive, which contains all of the rumours that were not reported properly the first time around, head over to my Patreon. The link is in the description of this video below. So my favourite image of the week is this one of Victoria Beckham. I was watching the Beckham documentary, the Victoria Beckham one. I'd seen the David one and I was watching the Victoria one, and Victoria wasn't nearly as candid as her husband was. And there could be many reasons for that, but one thing I noticed was that Victoria was obsessed with distancing herself from the Spice Girls and obsessed with being taken seriously, and I think that's a mistake. The image that I'm showing you is so camp, and I think Victoria should lean into her campness a bit more, rather than trying to be this super serious, uber classy fashion designer. There are so many of those, and only one Victoria Beckham from the Spice Girls who was camp and fun and didn't take herself too seriously. Lean into that, Victoria.